Welcome to Airborne Flight Training. Coming up on this week's episode, UAS4STEM at EAA AirVenture 2024. NBAA, like others, wants the FAA to giddy up with new initiatives. New partnership supports aspiring pilots. And I'm your host, Holland Lee. Welcome to Airborne Flight Training, a weekly program dedicated to future aviators and aviation professionals. Airborne Flight Training is brought to you in part by King Schools. King Schools has been leading the effort in producing expert aviation training programs and computer-based learning software for over 50 years. Find out why pilots love King teaching at kingschools.com. Let's get into today's stories. UAS4STEM at EAA AirVenture 2024. UAS4STEM is an Academy of Model Aeronautics sanctioned competition for students aged 11 through graduating high school seniors. Teams compete throughout the year to make it to the championship at AirVenture. Teams must design, build, and fly unmanned aerial systems to compete virtually and be selected for the championship, which is in two classes, beginner and advanced. The AMA competition consists of 3 stages. The first is to build a small unmanned aerial system that is a quadcopter with components necessary to complete a specific mission as presented in the rulebook. An important element is that the mission be completed autonomously, which requires learning how to program an autopilot system. The second stage is to complete a challenge mission requiring the drone and ground control station to negotiate a waypoint flight and deliver a specified payload. The drone must comply with departure and arrival procedures and remain within the assigned airspace. It is also tasked with searching for an area of interest and to conduct a point recon. The third stage is the evaluation of each team's performance of the assignment to design and build the SUAS system and to complete the challenge mission. The competition will be held in the southwest corner of Camp Scholler at the beginning of the week. After the break, new college internship program launched at NBAA Regional Forum. Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. New college internship program launched at NBAA Regional Forum. The recent NBAA Regional Forum at Westchester County Airport in New York was the launch pad for a new partnership between the airport sponsor Westchester County and Vaughn College of Aeronautics and Technology. The partnership creates a paid college internship intended to set up students for good-paying jobs in the aviation industry with real-world experience in airport administration, operations, and airline services. Students will simultaneously have numerous opportunities to interact with private pilots, FBOs, commercial airlines, and flight departments of Fortune 500 companies. Contract talks slow, pilots request mediation. Pilots for Western Global Airlines have filed a joint request for federal mediation with the National Mediation Board. Joining the pilots in the request is the Airline Pilots Association International, the union representing the pilots. The request is for NMB to facilitate negotiations for the first contract between pilots and airline management. Negotiations have been ongoing for 2 years. It was filed following a decision made by the pilots and union that the delayed responses to contract proposals indicates management is purposely slow-walking negotiations. RAA talks to Congress. The Regional Airline Association attended the House Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure's hearing for the Subcommittee on Aviation to present, quote, eliminating bottlenecks, examining opportunities to recruit, retain, and engage aviation talent, end quote. The RAA submitted their written statement about the industry, mostly focusing on the provisions they most want to see implemented quickly. With things calmed down on the hiring front, the RAA cautioned against, quote, mistaking short-term supply chain disruptions for a resolution of the pilot shortage, end quote, urging continued and sustained support for initiatives that will create more future pilots. New iPad organizer kneeboard from Sporty's. Sporty's flight gear stable of products has a new tool, the new Flight Gear iPad Organizer kneeboard. It's an all-in-one organizer with multiple compartments and pockets for pilots to keep an iPad EFB, along with whatever other items they like to keep handy during flight. The kneeboard has a universal mounting surface that accommodates most iPad sizes and even cases. The iPad angle can be adjusted for glare with the folding kickstand that folds flat for stowage. There are pockets for batteries and charging cables, and of course, an adjustable leg strap. That's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. NBAA, like others, wants the FAA to giddy up with new initiatives. NBAA returned to the grind of angling for fresh blood in the industry, urging Congress to implement some of the high-minded plans enclosed in their recent FAA reauthorization legislation. Every so often, the industry seems to remember the impending wave of retirements, which is followed by some anxious glances at the unimpressively slim pilot production pipeline. The NBAA is even a little more grounded than other industry bodies, since their business focus puts them in contact with a wider variety of operators across the world. Developing the next generation of professional pilots is a national priority, according to the group. It's not news to Congress, or shouldn't be, provided they read the bill they passed. But just like other lobbyists in the aerospace industry, the NBAA isn't seeing the government raring to go and get its provision implemented right away. Joe D'Amato, Senior Vice President of Education, Training and Workforce Development with NBAA, spoke on workforce development at a hearing with the House Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure's Aviation Subcommittee. D'Amato said, quote, the pipeline is critical to our strength as a nation, end quote, adding that if the provisions in the FAA bill to support it are implemented effectively, the aviation community will be equipped to move forward on job growth, quote, in ways that have not been possible in recent decades, end quote. After these messages, new partnership supports aspiring pilots.
I'm currently using the Hartsell Talon, by far the best aerobatic propeller ever come out.
I use the Trailblazer. It adds performance to the Super Decathlon and dependability, and it's rugged.
Hartsell's been an excellent partner for Whip Air, just in terms of your product support as well as keeping an eye on the market and developing new products that meet demand.
It's helping us all have better performing airplanes.
It's such a proud honor to fly behind that propeller.
Well, hello, fellow pilot. I'm John King.
And I'm Martha King.
You know, we've all had our flying lives disrupted lately.
Well, King Schools is here to help you stay up to date with courses that you can access on your desktop, iPad, or iPhone. If you'd like a refresher or just want to expand your aviation horizons, we have a course for you.
So head over to kingschools.com/Rusty today for details.
Welcome back. New partnership supports aspiring pilots. Log 10 Pilot Logbook by Flight Schedule Pro and Breaking Down Barriers have announced a new partnership that will assist young adults in underrepresented groups and those needing financial assistance in pursuing careers in aviation. Throughout a person's involvement with BDB as a pilot in training, the partnership will provide him or her complimentary access to Log 10's digital logbook services. Breaking Down Barriers is a new aviation nonprofit set up by Doug and Gwen Parker and is based in Dallas, Texas. It is committed to eliminating obstacles that many young adults face and to serve as an inspiration and pathway for those who might otherwise have never thought of aviation as a career option or had the financial means to pursue one. A logbook is an essential element for a pilot during both their training and throughout their professional career. Digital logbooks are becoming the standard for archiving signatures, tracking flight time, currency, duty limits, and other items necessary for modern pilots. The partnership between Log 10 and BDB intends to assure aspiring pilots have the resources to track their progress efficiently and accurately, while also enhancing their experience during training. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne, and don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.